Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play God of War. So we haven't done this yet, so I want to start today with a brief rundown of the stats, because all of this is new to God of War, but it's also pretty straightforward. So, real quick, Strength just makes the axe do more damage, Runic makes your runic attacks do more damage, along with any elemental properties you get, like the Frost. Defense is your damage mitigation, obviously. Vitality is health, and also hit recovery. Important to note. Luck is not just more XP and Hex Silver drops, it's also the chance to activate certain perks on gear, like with the Axe Pommel we just bought. It said it had a high chance of perk activation for, I think, Gift of Cooldown on Executioner's Cleave, which just means that when I use that cleave, there is a high chance that it makes all my cooldowns, like the runic attacks, come back faster. And speaking of which, that cooldown, that is the final stat. Well done. Oh wow, he actually complimented the boy. That's about to feed into what I'm about to talk about next. Now we're gonna move from that to a topic that isn't really important to gameplay at all, but I do feel like it's incredibly important to the story this game is trying to tell. God of War, one of the primary themes is fatherhood and regret, and also a certain facet of masculinity. Specifically, I think this game is a critique of toxic masculinity. Now, here's the thing. Some of you, you're going to hear that phrase and you're going to roll your eyes. Please don't. Please stick with me. Toxic masculinity is not a slur against men. Please do not at me with that. It's not even necessarily criticizing the concept of manhood or masculinity. Atreus, it's not saying that all men are bad. But what it is an interrogation of what masculinity even means from a cultural standpoint. It describes the toxic parts of our culturally reinforced ideas of what makes a man a man. Things like men aren't supposed to be emotional unless that emotion is anger. Western cultures often reinforce that boys and men shouldn't cry. Like, we should resort to violence to solve all of our conflicts. We shouldn't be open about our emotions unless that emotion's anger or hostility. The idea that that is what a man is toxic to the core. And if you've ever felt like you find yourself unable to express your emotions, not because you can't conjure the words.
I can't tell. Are we getting closer to the mountain?
We are.
But because of how society will judge you for doing so? You as a man should want to tear that structure down the most, because congrats, you are a victim of toxic masculinity. This idea that, oh, whoops, cut Atreus off a little bit there. Yep, we're all good here. You aren't being... What I'm trying to get at is you aren't being anti-man or anti-male if you think that that's kind of gross. But you are against this idea that men should be controlling to the degree that we repress all emotion and only vent anger, right? That men are big and chiseled and powerful, and if you aren't any of those idealized things, you're less of a man. You know, this idea that men are conquerors. We go out and we take what we want, sex, money, and whatever else. We're aggressive. That's the primary characteristic of manhood. We take what we want. That shit isn't good. Toxic masculinity is whew, that's a hell of a kill. It's a trait of cultural takes on masculinity that are harmful to everyone. It's also super problematic for women because the social implication is that women are weak, and the beautiful spectrum of human emotion is something womanly, and we as a society view them, again, as weak. Thus, we call men who are compassionate or expressive or whatever else girly. You know, they're sissies. It's meant to demean men by comparing them to women who, again, are seen as weak. Like, this is all just a big cycle of problematic shit.
Maybe I can carry her?
I told you no.
Why? She meant more to me than you anyway.
What?
I just meant I spent more time with her. You were off hunting a lot.
It would serve you to stop talking.
So we're going to pull this group towards this and hope this does not blow up in our faces. So this idea is not anti-men in the same way that feminism is not putting women above men, or how Black Lives Matter isn't meant to be construed as only Black Lives Matter. So if your retort is, well, what about toxic femininity? Or we shouldn't be feminists, we should be equalists, or something like Black lives aren't the only ones that matter, all lives matter. You are, at best, being horribly naive. Like, you're looking at some terms that sound scary because you are in a position to benefit from being privileged, and that privilege is being threatened. And these arcane shoulder wraps are a straight upgrade, but they look atrocious. So, nah. We say no to that. Yeah, I think we're going to go with this new runic attack. But again, toxic masculinity is something that is harmful to everyone, men and women alike. Y'all are generally good, decent people, and I'm glad to have cultivated this community, so I trust that there aren't tons of, like, completely off the deep end alt-righters watching. But if you're on the fence and maybe a bit ignorant, these sound like scary things. Like, almost like existential threats brought upon by scary feminist social studies warriors. And to that, I would just say, yeah, what the troll said. Educate yourselves. Do not, as Kratos says, close your hearts to it.
Father?
Ready yourself.
So these trolls, or ogres, whoever they are, they're just the titans from, like, Arkham Asylum. Like I was saying, do not follow Kratos' example. He is not and never has been the hero. You were never supposed to root for him. This game is about regret and how he's kind of a mediocre at best dad because he's a big ball of toxic masculinity and always has been. And now he's old and has run from his past and has a new family. This game is about how Kratos desperately doesn't want Atreus to be him. But at the same time, all he's ever known in his whole life is rage. So he is horribly ill-equipped to stop his son from turning out like him. It's why he's dismayed by Atreus bursting into rage and slashing the ogre. But he can't bring himself to show too much pride in Atreus for more than like a brief moment. He can't do more than flash showing affection for his child. He can't fucking hug the kid. Twice now he has stopped shy of even partially hugging him.
Here? Who built this place?
And I think this narrative is really good, for the most part. I really like the themes. I think this is an interesting topic for a game to tackle. I'm still a little bit undecided about the execution, though. I will say that. it's like, because the things Kratos says and does are obviously problematic as shit, in that he's so closed off from his feelings, and then he's trying to impart some of that on Atreus.
I can see why Mom wanted us to bring her here.
Indeed.
Like, him keeping the secrets of Azpath shows a little bit of regret and remorse, which is good, but the whole, like, close your heart to their suffering is...
Wonder if Sindri knows his sky.
So it all comes down to, what is the camera trying to tell us? What is the gameplay doing to inform that narrative?
I do not care.
And sometimes the game is going, isn't Kratos so cool by virtue of still being a big power fantasy and having you do cool things as him? Working, like, through Kratos. So he's a monster, but he still has to be cool. That's where it gets a little like it's sending some mixed messages. I still think it's incredibly important to understand the underlying bones here.
Ugh. What is that?
We must find another way up.
The witch! Wish she was here. Bet she could get us past this.
My magic is useless against the Black Breath, and there's no way around it. Odin saw to that long ago.
What are you doing here?
Making sure you can finish your journey.
Why wait to warn us?
I was busy, saving my friend, if you remember. The Black Breath is a corruption of magic even I can't dispel. Only the pure light of Alfheim is strong enough to break through. But that road is long. What does this goal mean to you?
It's everything.
Follow me.
Why help us?
Maybe I see more of myself in you than I'm willing to admit. Maybe by helping you, I'll make up for a lifetime of mistakes. Or maybe I just like you.
Even though we shot your friend?
Even though you shot my friend, yes.
Where must we go?
To a realm beyond your own.
We're going to another realm? Are you coming with us?
Only for a little while.
Only for a little while. We'll use this. Graythaw.
Can't. Sindri said it was broken.
Sindri.
The dwarf at the foot of these hills.
He was fixing it when we got here.
Well, no one was there when I passed by. Perhaps he finished. Dwarves are awfully resourceful.
And irritating, based on the two we have met.
That too. Just give that a turn. There. See? Tyr's temple is at the center of the lake. It is from there we travel to Alfheim. Thankfully, it's no longer underwater.
Why is that creature in the bay?
No one knows. He just appeared one day. Soon after, Thor attacked, and their battle could be felt across all the realms. Ultimately, it ended in a stalemate, and Thor returned to Odin empty-handed. The serpent stayed and grew so large, he now spans all of Midgard.
See? Told you.
They've hated each other ever since. Destined to kill each other come Ragnarok.
You believe in Ragnarok?
I dearly wish I didn't, child.
You know, we actually talked to the world serpent.
You did?
An exaggeration.
I'm good with languages, even ones I've never heard before. But when he talks, I can't understand any of it.
Sadly, no one can. He speaks a dead tongue.
Oh. Must be lonely.
Watch your step. Just along here.
Are you sure? We came through here before and there's no way back across. see?
Is that so? Let me show you something. Are you watching? Liosta!
What? It's solid.
Elven architecture. My bowstring was soaked in the light of Alfheim. It can now reawaken the magic of the elves.
Wait, it won't just disappear, will it?
Not as long as the light shines free. This way.
I want one. Those roots. What kind of magic is that?
It's Vanir.
From Vanaheim?
You know of it?
Just stories. Mother didn't say much about the Vanir gods. Just that they're always at war with the Aesir. As compared to Odin and Thor, they're the good guys.
There are no good gods, boy. Thought I taught you that.
Tyr's temple. Built with help from the giants, Great Tyr used it to travel the 9 realms and keep the peace between them.
Doesn't seem very peaceful. Everywhere we go, we're attacked. Especially by dead things.
The risen dead grow ever more numerous. Once the roads and trails would have been full of people. Now all have hid or fled, save for the Reavers, savage enough to survive in such a world. Make a right at the bottom of these stairs.
Hey, another one of those light crystals.
Wait there while I reawaken the light. Liosta.
That did it. What are we doing exactly?
Mending the Disrepair. Start by lifting that axle. Good. Now push it back into place. Now realign the wheel onto the track. Perfect. Now push the bridge along the track.
What? The whole entire bridge is turning. How is the whole entire bridge turning? Boy, you're really strong.
Just keep pushing until the bridge reaches its first position. Tired yet?
No.
He's always been really strong. So about the dead. We heard someone call them Hellwalkers. But what are they?
They are poor, restless souls, denied their judgment and their peace.
Why what? Could Vanir magic raise the dead?
It could, once. But this is no spell. This plague of dead is but a symptom of a world out of balance. Something or someone has meddled with powerful forces. That is all I know for sure. That's perfect. Come back up. We're ready now.
That was impressive. You didn't hurt your back, did you?
I did not hurt my back.
Through these doors.
Wait, so did the giants or the elves build Tyr's temple?
All the races helped with its construction. It was the last great act of cooperation between the realms before peace disappeared for good. Liosta.
Your bowstring stopped glowing.
Its power is now depleted. Only a few knocks of magic remained in the bowstring, and we used them. Your bow, please. Once you claim the light of Alfheim, infuse the bowstring with its power. Don't forget.
You talk like you're not coming with us.
I'll try, but measures were taken to keep me trapped in Midgard.
Why?
The gods don't care for me much.
Is this it? It's so dark.
This temple has been asleep, underwater for almost 150 winters. It needs only the light of the Bifrost to reawaken.
Those roots don't look like your magic.
They aren't. These roots are part of the Great World Tree, and make travel between the realms possible. Approach the table.
How does it work?
You will need this, a Bifrost, to create travel between realms. It can capture, hold, and transfer the light of Alfheim. Place the Bifrost there.
What now?
Give it a moment. The temple needs time to wake up from its long slumber. It is from this room, and this room alone, that you will be able to cross between realms. What you see before you represents the temple in which we stand, as well as the realm towers that encircle the Lake of Nine outside. All the realms exist in the same physical space, reflections of each other. These doors, the towers outside, and the 9 realms are all intertwined and coexisting on the branches of the World Tree, separated only by the Bifrost light of Alfheim. This place can focus and control that light.
And is this the World Tree?
Only an artistic representation of it. No, the Yggdrasil is much, much more than this. The Tree of Life is bound to the fate of the world, just as we are bound to it. The tree nourishes our soils. The dew from its leaves feeds our valleys and rivers. The tree's very existence supports all of creation along its boughs. Its life energy interwoven into the tapestry of life. Birth, growth, death, and rebirth. Every strand transcending time, transcending space. Everything comes back to the tree. So, that's how it works. But I'm guessing you were looking for a more practical answer.
Yes.
Very well. The bridge you pushed outside is currently positioned to lead to the realm of Vanaheim. Instead, turn the wheel to our actual destination, Alfheim.
Wait, is this moving the big bridge outside?
Yes, the wheel turns the bridge, and the bridge aligns to the different realm towers on the lake outside.
Wait, there's no tower on this one.
And that's why realm travel to Jotunheim is impossible. Without a tower for the bridge to lock into, the sequence can't begin. Every realm has a travel room that unlocks the bridge to that realm. I'm giving you the one for Alfheim. Now you can lock in your destination. We're ready. Remember to take the Bifrost. You don't want to lose that. Now the realm travel bridge will align, and the realm between realms will open. See that giant crystal? Each realm has a corresponding one that focuses and amplifies the power of the Bifrost, opening the bridge to that realm. That's why realm travel is only possible from this room.
What about that one realm tower missing from the lake?
The Jotunheim Tower disappeared from all realms over 100 winters ago, when the giants vanished from Midgard. Where the tower went and how they moved it remain a mystery.
It didn't work. We're still here.
Follow me.
The Bifrost is dark.
This trip was its last use. There's no going back until it's replenished with the light of Alfheim.
So we are trapped.
Someone of your ability should have little trouble getting back to Midgard.
You will be able to make that black breath go away?
With the captured light of Alfheim, yes. Welcome to Alfheim, gentlemen. Think you can spot the light? I can barely see it. Something's wrong. See that column of light on the horizon? It's housed in the heart of a ring temple. We'll find what we need there. No. Damn it, not yet.
What's happening?
To restore the Bifrost magic, you must step into the light. But be very careful not to get caught.
All right, thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one.